Howdy, Utah fans and other college football fans who may be watching this. It is championship week. That's right. It's the week where all the various conferences around the nation play to figure out who their conference champion really is. And in the case of the Pac-12, that will be played at Allegiant Stadium, and that's going to be an awesome place to watch Utah win their first conference championship. Yes, I'm calling it. Of course, it's not going to be easy. We're playing a tough Oregon team who's a little upset from what we did to them 2 weeks ago. But as long as we can match their energy and drive, I think we can pull it out. And we've got our 8-1 in the division. Utah Utes going against 7-2 in the division, in the North Division, that is. Oregon Ducks. And I got to just point out a couple quick things before we go to the break, and that is, one, we were 8-1 2 years in a row. The last 2 years, of course, not including messed up COVID year last year. And 3 years in a row, we've been South Division champs. Hasn't been done by any team in three full seasons in a row since we've been in the Pac-12. So we're in uncharted territory. Now, our next step, considering we lost the first 2 Pac-12 championship games we were in, is to take care of business and win this game. We'll see you right after this.
And they'll run it, Jordan! Ty Jordan! See you later! Touchdown, Utah!
4 seconds, 3 seconds. Back to Van Dyke, deep 3 up. And good! It's good!
They just need this to finish their best beam rotation of the year. And look at Ford, says, get on your feet.
Alrighty, Utah fans, and of course, anybody else who may be watching this. Hopefully we can convert you to becoming a Utah fan if you're not already. And if you're the opposition's fan, hopefully, you feel like I'm giving a fair assessment. Whether or not you agree with it, that's up to you. And feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section, whether you agree or disagree with my thoughts and analysis. Also, please like and subscribe. I know that there's quite a few people who are watching this video who haven't subscribed, so please go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there, and that'd be great. Love to have you along for the ride. Every week we're going to be talking about Utah football, Utah basketball, and Utah gymnastics, and who knows, maybe some off-topic things on occasion. I do have a young man that I coached when he was a kid playing basketball with mine, who plays basketball in Oklahoma. So we'll probably have him on the show sometime, and we'll have Parker Van Dyke back on here sometime in the near future, and a couple of other fun things, I hope. But for now, the focus and the attention is all about Oregon and the conference championship. So let's get into it. Alrighty. So 9 days ago, Oregon came into town to Rice-Eccles Stadium, and we had a record crowd that night, 52,724 or something like that. And we were loud and proud, and that's when the Utes beat Oregon 38-7. We held them to their season low in yards, 294 yards is what we held them to. And there's only 2 other times they were held below 400. That was 358 against Fresno State and 393 against Arizona. Now, 38-7 is a bit of a beatdown, and it's kind of like payback, not totally because it's a different situation, to what they did to us, for what they did to us in the conference championship game in 2019 when they beat us 37-15. Now, obviously 38-7 is a little bit bigger, but the game while it was big for us and it helped us clinch the conference, not the conference, but the South Division in the conference, it wasn't the conference championship game, and that's the game we absolutely need to win. Now, of course, it's always hard in a situation like this to beat a team twice in a row, but not impossible. And I'm very confident in what we did, that we can do it again. Now, when I say do it again, I mean beat them again. I don't mean beat them exactly the way we did this last time, although I would settle for that. I was being sarcastic when I said settle. So, big game. Here's a little philosophy I have, and let me know your thoughts if you agree with this. But I feel like, all else being equal, forget about talent level for a minute and forget about who's injured and who's not and all that kind of thing, which of course plays into talent level a little bit. Every team's got some injuries and whatnot and is missing some players and such at this point in the season. So let's talk about, my philosophy is that when a team loses, in terms of what they're doing on a preparation side, game planning, is that they have a little bit of an advantage over the team that beat them. And the reason why I think that is because they can look at the tape and they can say, okay, hey, we could have done this better. Let's try changing this, going a different route in terms of scheme or play calling or whatever. And so they're going to be making changes, unless the time that I would say that doesn't happen is when they just think that, we're still better than them. We just got outplayed. So if they take that kind of point of view, they could just come in and, with the same kind of game plan. I don't think they will, but they could come in with the same kind of game plan and basically say, okay, look, game on. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to come at you the same way we did last time, except this time we're going to execute better and we're going to beat you. And if they do that, then I would expect not 38-7, but I would expect that we could still beat them for sure. And I hope that even if they make changes, that we are also making some changes, putting in a few twists and whatever, and also additionally are able to adapt to whatever changes they make so that we still come out with the victory, because we absolutely need to win this game. Now, I'm going to say that Oregon will make some changes, and we are definitely going to have to adapt. But at the same time, I don't think we played a perfect game by any means. We had some great things in terms of 50 rushes for 208 yards. Our time of possession was 35 minutes and 27 seconds to 24 minutes and 33 seconds. So our time of possession was very good, and that's of course a great thing in terms of them having fewer chances to be able to score against us. We, of course, like I mentioned, held them to 294 yards of offense, and we were putting, we contained Travis Dye, who I believe that might have been his worst game as a starter, and held them to 63 rushing yards overall. Now, just for a little context, I said 294 total yards and 63 rushing yards overall. Last week, the week after they played us, they played a pretty good Oregon State team and got 506 yards of total offense, so 212 yards more than they got against us. So, and they didn't get anybody, and they might have gotten somebody back, I don't know, I don't think so, but I just know that their top three receivers are out, and they were against Oregon State. But also, when you look at a team like Oregon that's kind of at the elite level that they are, it's almost like plug and play. I don't look at them and say, ooh, their top 3 receivers are out, or C.J. Verdell is out, or whatever, because so many of their players are high 3-star or a lot of 4 and 5-star players. And but when kind of like the worst player in terms of high school ranking is a high 3-star, and I don't know that to be 100% true. They might have some, mid-level 3-stars on their team. I don't know, but likely, Oregon gets a lot of 4-star players and some 5-stars and such. And I look at them as kind of plug and play. Maybe they lack a little bit of experience, the new players that they're putting in, but the ability level is there and the potential is there. And they still have some very, very capable players on their team. And as Coach Witt says, head coach, for those of you who aren't fans of Utah that might be watching this, he's the head coach of Utah. What he says is always, next man up. Next man up. Doesn't matter what your experience level is. And if I'm not mistaken, I think everybody in Utah's secondary right now is a freshman. There might be one guy that's considered a sophomore. But they are all extremely young, and we're extremely thin at that position. We've got 3 freshmen starting along the defensive front, and the 2 tackles are, a bit smaller than what we usually have, and Witt is hoping that they can kind of get up to the ideal size for a Utah D lineman maybe next year, but they're not there yet. But between technique and scheme, they've been able to play a lot better. And of course, they've grown because they have that a little bit more experience now. They've grown since the Oregon State game when we gave up far too many rush yards, 260, I believe. And that's the last game we lost, was to Oregon State, 42-34. So it's going to be interesting. Of course, it's going to be a neutral site and at Allegiant Stadium. Not even a Las Vegas isn't even a city that has a Pac-12 team, so I think that's a great place to play. I used to live there and have some friends and a little bit of family there, so it's kind of fun to be able to go down and visit with them and go to a couple of good eating places that I know down there. If you're heading down and would like a recommendation or two, please feel free to also comment about food recommendations down there, because I can give you a few good ones. Now, beyond that, 5 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock Mountain time, is game time, and that is going to be on ABC, which is what it was on when we played them the first time. 4.8 million people watched that game. I wonder how many people are going to watch this game and look to see if it's a repeat or what. But I'm going to say more eyeballs are going to be on it because it's the conference championship game, and I know my eyeballs are going to be on it from Allegiant Stadium. I think it's going to be a great game. As far as Colorado's concerned, I'll have a little bit about that right after this.
By Thomas, but Pledger has 3 100-yard games of his own. Rising delivers for Keithy. Touchdown, Utah.
Wow, that was all the eyes of Cam Rising. As a QB, it feels great every once in a while, Joe, to manipulate that defense, especially when you got Keithy streaking down the other side. He is looking to his right. It takes the middle defender, the safety, right out of the lane, and just a bullet on the little stick and go.
On first down from the 28, play action. Rising sets his feet, delivers a strike. Kincaid, touchdown. Another tight end for the Utes.
So we saw earlier with Colorado, right? A couple receivers, contested 50-50 balls. This is yet another vertical. They love to use their tight ends in the vertical game. And here's the advantage when you have a pass-catching tight end and it's a contested ball. You got about 40 pounds on that corner, right? You could post them up and use those big, strong hands. His 6th touchdown of the year ties Keithy, the 2 best.
Thomas with a seam and a touchdown. Quick response from Utah.
And once again, it is my man Olaseni, the left tackle, kind of like he did a week ago in this same end zone, propelling Thomas into it. Look at him, watch him just move people. And then you get a nice block that comes around, but it is that movement of 300-pounder Mustafa Johnson.
4 short 5 out of the gun. Rising, looks and runs. Flips it ahead. Covey to the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, creativity.
It's pretty good. You know, when Brett Favre did this 30 years ago against the Seahawks in the Kingdom, it was like, oh my gosh, incredible. But now we've gotten so used to the creativity and flair of the Mahomes and all the imitators that, yeah, of course, just go create and flip it and make a play. And oh, by the way, Bam Olaseni just sitting right on the head at Terrence Lang.
All right, we are back for our final segment. And again, please, if you haven't subscribed, please like, subscribe, hit the subscribe button down there. And again, I'd love to hear your thoughts either on the Colorado game or on the our upcoming conference championship tilt against Oregon. Yes, that's right, Oregon, the team that we just beat 9 days ago from the day of this video. This is Monday, the 29th of November. So, Colorado, let's take a quick look at that. It was a sloppy game from our part. We didn't play like our normal selves. Our efficiency in terms of points per yards was not there. We had 444 yards. We should have had, really could have had 2 or 3 more touchdowns. We had, Jalen Dixon had a beautiful pass from Cam Rising right in his bread basket, and it went right through. And and he was in the end zone. If he had caught that, that'd have been 35 points. We beat him 28-13. There was another 2 times that we were knocking on the door. I think one of them, at least, we were in the red zone. But we went for it on 4th down and got stopped twice when we were, getting close to scoring. So there was a couple of other times we very possibly could have at least put 3 points on the board, if not get a touchdown. We also had a field goal blocked. Special teams has not been very good this year. Hopefully it's good enough that it doesn't lose the game for us this week. Of course, 9 days ago, Covey had that awesome 78-yard punt return for a touchdown. I believe we also blocked that field goal with Cole Bishop blocked the field goal. So, great stuff on special teams then. And hopefully our offense is sharp. Again, we had 444 yards against Colorado and only gave up 148 yards on defense. Our defense, we didn't give up. Now, Colorado had 13 points. They got a touchdown, but that was on that crazy kickoff return where we missed 3 tackles on that one play. And Witt said, in his press conference today that it was schemed well. They just missed the tackles, three of them. So they held him to 2 field goals. One of them was, I believe, a 56-yard field goal. Great kick by that young man. And had a lot to spare. Probably would have been good from 61, 62 yards. But other than that, we smothered them. Our defense just shut them down. A great effort by the defense. Offense played mostly a clean game, other than Cam having a pass sail on him, and it was intercepted right. I think that was his first or second pass of the game, right on the first drive of the game, and that led to a very short field, and they got their first field goal on that. So that was kind of an oddity, but we only had 2 penalties for 20 yards. If we can keep it clean like that, minus the turnovers, no turnovers, and we've done several games, I believe, where we haven't had any turnovers. And as long as we can keep it clean, penalty-wise and turnover-wise, and not miss the tackles like we missed 3 on that kickoff return, I think, of course, that certainly increases our chances against Oregon. Got to limit the big plays as well. So there's that. But Colorado, another, like I say, dominant performance. Also, time of possession was 34 minutes and 7 seconds versus 25:53 for Colorado. They were without, like I said in my video last week, without Brendan Rice, who was their top receiver. He wouldn't have made much of a difference relative to the outcome of the game. Held them to 9 first downs. And so, yeah, it's. I think our defense has continually improved each week, which kind of you would expect out of some young guys. I mentioned our defensive tackles in the previous segment, who I think have really made some significant improvement. But also Van Fillinger has been playing very well. Our starting defensive end, who's a freshman. He's strong young man, decent size for a D end. For us, he's already kind of at the ideal size, maybe, and might still even put on a few more pounds. But he's like 6'4", 260 plus pounds, and has been playing really well in terms of being able to set the edge on containment and put pressure on the quarterback and numerous other things like that. Chase down running backs and whatnot, and very, very impressive. So. We did what we needed to do. We're 8-1, 9-3 overall, 8-1 in conference, and so now it's all about Oregon, and I think we can do it. Now we're favored by 2.5 points on a neutral field. Oregon is ranked in the CFP. I believe it's 11 in the CFP, and that poll will be updated tomorrow at. I believe 5 o'clock Mountain Time. And so I don't know what we're going to be. We are currently 19th in the CFP. We are 14th in the AP. And we went from 16th to 14th after our win against Colorado. I would love to see us get 16 or 15 in the CFP. And we'll find out exactly where we land. I think Oregon will probably move up a spot or two. Maybe... I don't know if they'll crack 10. They might be at 10. They're 11th right now. So that'll be interesting to see. But certainly if we beat them again, I think that's when we'll kind of jump them at that point. But 2.5 points, I think they'll cover the spread. I'd like to think we win by a touchdown or two. And again, just like always, if we win by more, all the better. All the better. Because it's all about the U getting the W. And so let's go with, I got 38 points last game. I'm going to say our offense scores another, 35, 38 points. I can see us possibly getting more passing yards because I can see Oregon maybe changing up their defense a little bit to try to kind of slow down the run a little bit more. We did some great stuff last time. The tight ends, we went with the number of 3 tight end sets. And all the tight ends did a great job blocking on one player or another. But consistently, what they were doing is they would do a chip block with on Kayvon Thibodeau, just to kind of get him off balance a little bit, and then they would go run their route, and that's when like the offensive tackle on either side would engage Kayvon. And so with that, I think we'll probably do something similar to that most of the night, and that will help us to, of course, kind of take him out of the play a little bit. And hopefully, Tavion Thomas, our great running back, and I love all of our backs. I think Pledger's doing really well, and of course, Mekhi Bernard is a very versatile back who's also great at catching passes out of the backfield. And I think we'll have some plays for all of them. And I think we'll have, hopefully, Tavion Thomas played last week and had a good game. Got 140 plus yards rushing. In fact, let me just check out really quickly what he got. He had 142 yards rushing. Hopefully he'll be all the healthier this week, and hopefully we'll be as healthy as we can be. Maybe even get an injured player back or two. I don't know who's injured right now for us because that's like a national secret. But I'm going to go with 35 to 24, maybe 27. But hopefully I'd be happy with any win. and the bigger the better as always. And if you're going to be down there, it'd be fun to bump into you. If you see me and you happen to recognize me because of this, come up and say hi. And other than that, like I said, please share, put your thoughts on what the score will be down in the comments section. And, if there's any insight you want to give, like, if you think we're going to change something else up, or if you think Oregon's going to do something different or whatever, put what you think they might do or what we might do. And that'd be great. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you next week after we become the conference champs. And go Utes!